Liverpool are continuing to push strongly for the signing of Paris Saint-Germain winger Ibrahim Mbaye, with the Reds increasingly interested in bringing the highly rated young attacker to Anfield. Recent reports suggest that Liverpool have identified Mbaye as one of their important attacking targets as new head coach Andoni Iraola and sporting director Richard Hughes look to strengthen the squad ahead of the new season. The interest in Mbaye is not completely new, but the situation has developed quickly in recent days. Liverpool have been monitoring the 18-year-old attacker and are believed to see him as a player who could bring speed, directness, creativity and long-term potential to Iraola's attacking system. The club's recruitment team is therefore working carefully to see whether an agreement with PSG can be reached before the transfer window closes. Ibrahim Mbaye is one of the most exciting young players to have emerged from the Paris Saint-Germain academy. Having joined the PSG academy at a young age, he progressed through the club's youth system before making his first team breakthrough. His development has attracted attention from several European clubs, but Liverpool are understood to be particularly interested in his profile. For Liverpool, the attraction is clear. Mbaye is still very young, but he already has experience of senior football and has demonstrated that he can compete at a high level. His ability to operate in attacking positions gives Iraola another option when building his forward line, while his age means that Liverpool could potentially develop him into an important first-team player for many years. The Reds' interest also fits into a wider strategy of rebuilding and refreshing their attacking options. Liverpool are looking for players capable of producing immediately while also having the potential to become major stars in the future. Mbaye appears to fit that description perfectly. Richard Hughes is believed to be playing an important role in the negotiations. As Liverpool's sporting director, Hughes has been heavily involved in identifying targets and working on potential deals. Reports have suggested that Liverpool were preparing to open or intensify official talks with PSG over Mbaye, with the player's preference also potentially helping the Reds in the race. One of the biggest reasons Liverpool remain optimistic is the reported interest from the player himself. Earlier reports indicated that Mbaye was keen on the Liverpool project and that Anfield was his preferred destination after Liverpool entered the race for his signature. That is an important development because the young winger has attracted interest from other European clubs, including Bayer Leverkusen. Bayer Leverkusen had reportedly been pushing to sign Mbaye, but Liverpool's involvement changed the situation. According to reports, the player gave priority to Liverpool after the Premier League club made their interest clear. That could give Hughes and Iraola an important advantage as negotiations continue. However, the biggest obstacle remains the financial side of the deal. PSG are not expected to simply allow one of their talented young players to leave for a small fee. Reports have placed the potential asking price around €50 million, or approximately £43 million, although different reports have suggested different figures. Liverpool therefore have to decide how much they are prepared to invest in a player who is still at the beginning of his senior career. The situation has been complicated further by Liverpool's interest in another PSG winger, Bradley Barcola. The Reds have been heavily linked with Barcola as their major attacking target, while Mbaye is also being considered. Reports have suggested that PSG could demand a very large combined fee if Liverpool attempt to sign both players. This is where the negotiations could become extremely important. Liverpool have to balance their desire to strengthen the squad with the club's financial plans. Hughes will need to negotiate carefully with PSG in an attempt to reach an agreement that Liverpool consider acceptable. At the same time, Iraola is believed to be looking for attacking players who can fit his high-energy, vertical style of football. The new Liverpool manager is expected to demand intensity, movement and quick transitions from his forwards, and Mbaye's profile could suit those requirements. Iraola's arrival has created a new chapter at Liverpool. The Spanish coach has been tasked with rejuvenating the club following a disappointing previous campaign, and he will need the right players to implement his football. Recent reporting has described his approach as high-octane and vertical, making the recruitment of dynamic attackers particularly important. Mbaye could therefore become more than simply another squad player. If Liverpool managed to complete the transfer, the club could see him as a long-term investment and an important part of the next generation at Anfield. The teenager also has international experience with Senegal, having represented the country at senior level. That experience has added to his reputation and demonstrated that he is already trusted on the international stage despite his young age. Available records list him as a forward for PSG and a Senegal international. Liverpool supporters will naturally be excited by the possibility of seeing such a young and talented attacker arrive at Anfield. The club has a long history of developing players and giving young footballers the platform to become stars. If Mbaye joins Liverpool, the next challenge will be helping him adapt to the intensity of English football and the expectations that come with playing for one of the world's biggest clubs. The reported progress of the negotiations has therefore created significant attention around the transfer. While some reports have suggested that Liverpool previously considered PSG's demands too expensive, other reporting indicates that the move is not necessarily dead and that Liverpool could still decide to make an opening offer. This means the final stages of the transfer could depend heavily on the next conversations between the two clubs. Liverpool may attempt to negotiate a lower fee, while PSG will want to protect the value of a player they believe has significant potential. For Hughes, this could be another major test of his transfer strategy. Liverpool have already been active in the market, and the sporting director now has to determine which attacking targets can provide the best balance between immediate quality and future potential. For Ibrahim, meanwhile, the possibility of Mbaye joining would provide another exciting option in attack. The coach could use his pace and movement to create problems for defenders, particularly in matches where Liverpool want to play quickly and attack space behind the opposition defensive line. There is also the possibility that Mbaye's arrival could increase competition within Liverpool's attacking department. Competition for places is usually positive for a team because players are pushed to maintain high standards. A young attacker with ambition could therefore bring additional energy to the squad. The coming days could be decisive. Liverpool are reportedly continuing to explore the possibility of signing Mbaye, while PSG are also making changes to their attacking group. The French club have strengthened their forward options, which could potentially influence the future of some of their existing attackers. For Mbaye himself, the decision could represent one of the biggest moments of his young career. Staying at PSG would allow him to continue developing at a club where he has been trained since childhood, but moving to Liverpool would offer him a new challenge in the Premier League and the opportunity to work under Ibrahim. The player will therefore have to consider several factors: playing opportunities, development, the club's sporting project, and his long-term career. If Liverpool can convince him that Anfield is the right place for the next stage of his development, the player's preference could become an important part of the negotiations. Liverpool, meanwhile, will be hoping that their discussions with PSG can reach a positive conclusion. Although it would be premature to describe the transfer as officially completed, the continued interest from the Reds shows that Mbaye remains a serious target. The possibility of Liverpool signing Ibrahim Mbaye is therefore one of the stories to watch closely as the summer transfer window approaches its conclusion. The club's management appears determined to strengthen the attacking options available to Ibrahim, and Mbaye represents exactly the type of young, ambitious and technically gifted player who could become a major asset in the future. If Liverpool eventually reach an agreement with PSG, Mbaye could arrive at Anfield with enormous expectations. But rather than expecting him to immediately become the team's biggest star, the club could focus on developing his talent gradually, giving him the right environment to adapt and improve. The potential transfer also demonstrates Liverpool's desire to build for the future. With experienced players leaving and the squad entering a new era under Ibrahim, signing talented young footballers could be essential to creating a team capable of competing for major trophies over the coming seasons. For now, negotiations remain the key issue. Liverpool are interested. Mbaye has reportedly been attracted by the Anfield project, and PSG must decide whether they are willing to negotiate a suitable transfer fee. Reports have differed on the exact state of the deal, so supporters should wait for official confirmation before considering the transfer completed. Nevertheless, the message coming from the latest reports is clear: Liverpool are not ignoring Ibrahim Mbaye. Richard Hughes and the recruitment team have been exploring the possibility of bringing him to Anfield, while Ibrahim's new attacking project could provide the perfect environment for the young winger to continue his development. If the two clubs can overcome the financial differences and reach an agreement, Liverpool could soon welcome one of Europe's most intriguing young attacking talents. And if Mbaye fulfills the potential that has already attracted interest from several major clubs, supporters could eventually look back at this transfer as the beginning of something very special at Anfield. For now, all eyes remain on Liverpool and PSG as negotiations continue. The Reds will want to move quickly, PSG will want the best possible financial agreement, and Mbaye will have to decide whether his future belongs in Paris or on Merseyside. What happens next could determine whether this ambitious Liverpool pursuit becomes another transfer story or one of the club's most exciting signings of the summer.